And honestly, a lot of people say it's like some sort of allegory for sexually transmitted diseases or AIDS, but honestly, it can't, because the way you get rid of it is by having sex with someone. And last time I checked my biology class notes, that's not how you get rid of an STD. That's basically spreading the STD. So remember, children, don't have sex with people, especially if you already have it, because you're just spreading it. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the 31 Nights of Horror. The Perverts Have Spoken, and speak they did. So last night we had the wonderful, the great, the awesome It Follows, and I thought, well, let's do another movie. Actually, it's a series of movies, so I decided to do the first of them. There's only 2 of them, so anyways, we're going way back to the year 2013, I believe, or 2012, one of those years. It was a little ways ago, but yet another contemporary horror movie that spawned a sequel. It Follows probably won't spawn a sequel, because I just don't know. I mean, I guess you could just have another story like it, but anyways, tonight, we will be talking about the movie The Purge. Yes, and I guess that means tomorrow night we'll be talking about the Purge Anarchy. So, first of all, let's talk about the movie The Purge. Yes, The Purge is about the future America, where the new founding fathers take control and decide that on one night, for 12 hours, people will be allowed to do all kinds of mayhem. Murder is legal, breaking and entering is legal, theft, murder, mayhem, rape, pillaging, it's all on the table. Yet there's still weapons restrictions. Yeah, I don't know what like class higher than a class 4 weapon would be, like a bazooka or nuclear weaponry, but whatever. So it's not completely lawless, but whatever. So don't call the police, because they're not going to be listening. Don't call an ambulance, because they ain't going out there. Don't even try to go to a hospital. It's going to be locked up tighter than... well, I'm not going to go there. But on this night, I would say like an upper middle class, maybe even, I guess you would consider, a rich family in a rich neighborhood, who happens to be headed by a man who sells security systems. I would think that, yes, is a growth industry along with firearms in that kind of future world. Well, he gets his family ready for another wonderful night of the Purge. Unfortunately, his daughter, I guess, is dating some 18-year-old, so I guess she's, what, 16, 15, I don't know, whatever would make a dad angry, which, honestly, if I was a dad, I'd just be pissed off. Anyone's dating my daughter. Just kidding. Anyways, so the boyfriend, sneaks in before the Purge lockdown so that he can have a one-to-one chat with Mr. Old Man to say, hey, you know what? Come on, I love your daughter. You gotta, like, allow us to date and stuff like that. Well, unfortunately, plans unravel when someone who is becoming a victim of the purging yuppies decides to run into the wonderful gilded neighborhood and ask for help. And of course, the young son of the well-to-do security system salesman, I guess, my God, security system salesman, there's some alliteration for you, decides to let him in and give him sanctuary. Well, of course, the purgers, those yuppie bastards that they are, well, I use yuppie, more preppy, I'll use the word preppy more, say, you know, this isn't right. We just want to kill this motherfucker, so why don't you just let us do it, and we'll leave you alone. However, if you don't, well, we're just going to kill all of you. Now, of course, that gives you big moral quandary. I mean, when is it alright to kill to protect your family? I mean, is it alright to kill this guy who's seemingly a victim in all this just to protect your family? Or is it alright to kill the motherfuckers who want him and will go through you to get to him to protect your family? Well, we really dive into this deeply in this movie. No, we don't. We don't dive. We spend like 5 seconds on that whole thing, and we go from complete, yes, I'll do anything for my family too, oh, I guess we'll fight it out because, you know, the odds of us living when we just give up the one guy is like probably 100%, though we can make an argument that those purgers would have probably killed them anyways because, you know, they're assholes. But besides the point, you have less chance if you decide to hunker down and battle an army of vicious psychopaths, right? Right? Well, that's basically what happens, and that's what I was hoping to happen, but instead you kind of have like a little hybrid home invasion movie action film toward the end, and honestly, it's kind of disappointing because when you get to the action part, is like 2/3 of the movie in. And getting there is just nauseating. Really, the Purge does commit the one unforgivable sin of a movie, and that is it's boring. It is so boring from the start to the middle, and then when the action starts rolling, I'm already half asleep here, guys. Please, do something. I mean, they're trying, you know, they do a piss poor job of trying to develop these characters. I didn't give a shit about any of these characters, this sort of relationship between the boyfriend and the girlfriend. Fuck the boyfriend, fuck that bitch. I don't give a crap about any of that shit. And of course, you know, they live in the rich, gilded neighborhood, so, I mean, are we supposed to be feeling sorry for them? Because we're sort of getting this idea out of this movie that we're, oh, you know, the rich people, the privileged people, they're the real bad guys, so we're not supposed to be feeling sad for them. So who are we supposed to be feeling for? The homeless victim? We don't identify with him at all. I mean, maybe we get like a little glimpse of a dog tag here, and maybe he was an army vet who served his country and got wronged by society, but we don't even get any context into that character. Except maybe that. So we're just all got to put it into our mind. Plus, the whole not-so-subtle racial overtones, you know, the black homeless guy being chased down by a group of rich, preppy white people in the lily white suburbs or whatever, you know. And that's another thing that kind of bothers me, is it seems like the movie is trying to be a little sanctimonious and preachy, and there's a good way of doing that and a bad way of doing it. And hitting us over the head with it is not the good way. Stop it. Instead, you know, a movie like They Live, which I guess sort of hits you over the head, but at least it's entertaining. But this one, it's only entertaining toward the end, and by the time you get there, you're like, whatever. And the twist that came at the end was something that you could see coming from a mile away. And honestly, I would have probably been more satisfied if it didn't happen. Though it did create a great awkward end scene that I kind of liked. So, you know, I'm going to give it some kudos for that. As well as, you know, there's some nice violence in there, but it's not too gory. But overall, my impression of this movie is a 2.5 out of 5. I'm giving it an average score because there were some redeemable things in there. The action, though short, was pretty sweet, but kind of out of place in a horror movie. They did kind of create a little bit of tension within there, but overall, it was boring in the beginning. The characters they didn't do a good enough job of making me give a damn about them. And though, you know, at the end, there was some nice, interesting stuff going on that I chuckled and enjoyed. I really thought that the movie was rather mediocre and therefore average at best. And I'm trying to be a little positive here because honestly, maybe I would be more about 2 out of 5. But, you know, it was well put together. I mean, the acting wasn't bad. Was it Ethan Hawke? You know, pretty good actor. The performances weren't weren't horrible. Nothing really took me out except for maybe that one, that psychologist at the beginning looked like he was just kind of like reading lines into. He was like, yes, the purge helps people get out their anger issues over the page, the year. I might have been exaggerating that, but whatever. Anyways, 2.5 out of 5. However, I heard that the sequel's something special. So you know, of course you gotta be able to go up from there, because if you go down from there, then oh god, blah. So expect the Purge Anarchy tomorrow night. As for the Purge, well, you know, it is what it is. I mean, if they, you know, it's a great concept. It had potential. They just kind of blew it, and you know, for me, I need a little bit more. I need a little something, especially during the beginning, because the beginning dragged so hardcore. I mean, it was, I was going, oh my goodness, I'm going to lose consciousness, man. Especially since, you know, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, working till past 2 in the morning trying to get that shit edited, and hopefully this one won't be so bad. So, anyways, leave a comment what you thought if you saw The Purge. What you thought about The Purge, whether you thought it was great, whether I am going to be looking forward to watching The Purge Anarchy tomorrow night, or should I be dreading it like the plague. Anyways, until then, internets, you guys stay scary, and I will see you on the next episode. By the way, if you didn't catch the first episode, there will be like a card up here, hopefully, unless something else bad happens to my channel in the meantime. But until then, there'll probably be a link in the description too. So, until then, stay scary.